You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 2nd, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accessLaPorteCounty.org.
Good morning. Hope everyone had a pleasant Thanksgiving holiday. Today is Monday, December 2nd, 2024. I'll call to order the Board of Public Works and Safety. I'll start by calling the roll. Mr. Simmons?
Present.
Ms. Tisdale?
Present.
Ms. Smith?
Present.
Ms. Moore?
Present.
Attorney LePage?
Here.
And Mr. York is here. And our clerk. All right. Our first order of business today is approval of minutes from our regular hybrid Zoom meeting from November 18th, 2024. Are there any changes or amendments, or do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Okay, our first order of business today is, our second order of business today is a contract between the City of Michigan City and Global Engineering for engineering services for 2025 in the amount of in the amount actually it's going to be a total of $367,000. So I don't see Shim here to explain this. Attorney LePage.
So it really depends. You can do it as one motion or two. So
Yeah.
the first part of it is an addendum to our 2024 contract. And the addendum is to do our PACER survey study that we need to update our streets and roads for the CCMG grant. And that is in the amount of $150,000.
Okay.
For those services. Then the second is the new contract with Global for 2025. And that will be for the CCMG grant and the administration, the design for 2025. And that's in the full amount of $217,000.
Got it. So the total that we will be asked to approve today will be $367,000. Yeah. Any questions on that? I know Mr. Khalil was trying to be here today, but I don't think he made it. Engineer, anything to add to that? See you sitting out there. You good? Okay. All right. Any questions of Attorney LePage? Is all in order with this contract, Attorney?
It is, and I believe it's all coming from being funded through our ARPA funds. Is that correct?
That's not.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Any questions? Any questions of the board? Okay, I'll open up for public comment. Any public comments? Any public comments? Okay, I'll close public comments. I will, any other questions of the board or I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Here a second.
Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. Thank you all. Next order of business is approval of material bid. The City of Michigan City Water Department is asking for approval of construction bid for the US 20 annexation area water main extension. And you see Director Johnson out here. If you would come up and just give us a little history. I think we all know a little bit about this, but maybe just fill us in on where we're at in a nutshell.
Okay,
Thank you for being here.
no problem. So basically, at the meeting, at the last Board of Works meeting, we had the board approve the materials for the project. And that the overall project originally started off quite substantial. It actually was reduced before the board had an agreement put together. We got down to 2.4 million. Since then, we've had some additional reductions in what we had to do for out there. The the most current engineer's opinion of probable cost was reduced to 1.3 million. As you know, at the last meeting, the materials bid came in at $361,989.28. That has been processed through the Department of Water Works Board. So the contract or the vendor does have that information. The current piece is the actual construction work. We split this in the hopes that this would help reduce the cost of the project. We received 4 bids. The lowest bid, and it was to the determined to be a responsive and responsible bidder, was to Woodruff and Sons in the amount of $648,987.88. That is below the project estimate of $745,000 for the construction. So overall, the total bid of the 2 bids is $1,010,977.16, which is approximately 22% below the latest engineer's opinion of probable cost. So the request for today is for the Board of Works to approve the construction bid. And then the Waterworks Board will then award it at the next meeting if it's approved today.
I believe our mayor would like to say some words. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. So a couple of things on this project, because I know there were comments made at the last meeting as well. So originally, while on the council and on the ARPA committee, we went through a process of identifying funds for this project, which at the time we said $7.5 million, right? So I take office and this year went back to the drawing board back in early April, and I told them basically we don't have 7.5 million, you got 5, that's it. And I asked them for alternatives for this project, and I think that delay in making sure we went back and identified what we could do differently and how we can get this done effectively has saved us a tremendous amount of money.
Yes.
Now we're down from 7.5 to 3-point-something million. And I think kudos to Hassan Association, Sanitary District, and Chris and his team for getting this done, because I think it is a good use of our funds to get this done. It should have been done years ago. But I think the some positive energy that allowed us to take our time to go back and really look at this project differently is saving us another almost $2 million. So that money will, whatever's left, it will go back into the rainy day fund for our Riverboat Rainy Day Fund, which is fantastic because I've been sweating that and cutting the budget and doing different things. But I think this is just again, our administration, water sanitary boards really being reflective on how we can do things differently and effectively and efficiently. So I hope you support it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Any questions of Mr. Johnson or Director Johnson? Sorry. Any questions from the board? I'll open up for public comments. Any public comments? Any public comments? Okay, hearing no public comments, I'll close public comments. I just want to clarify, Mr. Johnson, you don't have to come back up here, but all you're asking us for today is approval of the bid that you stated, the lowest bid, and then you would take it back to your board, and your board will have the final approval of that bid, correct? Okay. Is there a motion to that effect? Anyone?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Mr. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Director Johnson. Next order of business today, approval of job descriptions. The Human Resources Department is requesting the approval of job description for the Director of Public Works. I believe Miss George is here with us today. Floor is yours.
Good morning, Board. What I have before you today, I'm seeking approval for the job description for the position of the Director of Public Works. And I believe you all have a copy of the draft of the position. What this position is going to be a combination of several departments will be reporting to this particular position and working also with other departments such as is going to be working with the Sanitary District, Department of Waterworks, Engineering Department, and a couple of other departments. And this position is also going to be the general manager of the Sanitary District for the City of Michigan City. The Sanitary District Board did approve this at their last meeting on the Wednesday, November. It was the 20th. So this has been approved by the Sanitary District. So what we're seeking now is to have the position approved by the Board of Works. And I believe Mayor will like to talk about the thought process behind it.
Yes, Mayor.
So right now I have 18 direct reports that report to me. If cities our size, especially with the amount of growth that we have, they have a director of public works. And I don't know why Michigan City hasn't had one. The funding sources, though, will come from predominantly the sanitary district, but also we did include money in the budget from redevelopment and other water department and other sources to cover the costs for this particular position. So the Director of Public Works, water, sanitary, planning, and engineering basically falls under that in that organization. And this person will kind of guide as we have these projects. One thing that I did notice, and we have a monthly project meeting, very disjointed. They don't talk to one another. It's, this, and this. We meet on a monthly basis, but we do need someone who can lead that has that background in public works projects as we continue to grow and have as much work that is being done in Michigan City. You need a one-stop shop. I shouldn't have to call 5, 6 people for something. It should be someone who actually leads that effort. So that's why a director of public works is necessary at this time. I don't know how we've operated without one. For anyone else, they can go to any city and they have a director of public works. Cities even smaller than us do. We just not have used that model. I'm not sure why, but I think it's a good use of money. I think it's necessary for us to move forward so that as we're getting ready to go through a process with the planning department and making some changes, I think it's important that we have this position in place. And this will be, if this is approved, we'll start posting the position, but it's not until in the budget until next year to January 1st.
Any questions of the mayor or of Ms. George? Any questions? Okay. I'll thank you, Ms. George. Thank you, Mayor. I'll open it up for public comment. Any public comments?
Morning, City Councilman Don Perbolinski, 215 Gardena Street. I'm just, what is the salary for this position?
I'll let our mayor handle that one. Like she's coming up.
It's going to be posted at up to $135,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of.
Believe me.
It's also a lot of work and a lot of organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So up to 135. We budgeted more than that, but that's what it's going to be posted at for the time being. And we'll see what happens I think we'll get some good candidates. I've talked to some other cities and they told me not to steal their people, but again, we offer great benefits. So if you're watching, we offer great benefits, and the salary is going to be posted at up to $135,000. Any other questions?
Absolutely.
Mayor, to clarify though, because this position is also the director of general manager of sanitary district predominantly, Most of the salary comes from the sanitary district, and the balance is just subsidized by the other contributions from other departments. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Good clarification. I'm so sorry. What was? Yes, we did just approve.
Any other questions?
Any other questions of Mayor while we got her up here about the salaries or anything or where money's coming from? Any other questions, Mayor? Anything else you want to know
I
about?
just agree with benefits also makes a difference in
Absolutely.
jobs.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Any other public comment? Any other public comment?
Motion to approve.
All right. I'll close public comment. Sounds like we got a motion to approve. Do I hear a second?
Support.
All right. I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Mr. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you all. All right. Next order of business is approval for a truck rental agreement. The Michigan City Street Department is requesting the approval for a 3-month rental of 2 Ford F-550s trucks with plows and salt boxes to aid and assist with snow removal for a total amount of $26,206.00. Sean.
Yeah, good morning, Board. Sean Smith, Street Director, City of Mission City. Recently I seeked out 3 quotes for 2 Ford 550 Super Duty heavy duty trucks with plows and salt boxes. The reason behind this is we need something, a vehicle that's more heavy duty, that's more durable, that can make it through our neighborhoods. Currently, I mean, we do have pickup trucks, but these trucks are S10s or smaller in size. Once you encounter a road, sometimes you got snow, ice, and bonds to the pavement. We need something a little bit more durable that can move snow. We're talking from 6 to last year was 36 inches. So currently we cannot purchase. So I'm looking into possibly, per approval of the Board of Works, to rent 2 of these 550s.
Any questions, Director Smith?
What's the rental period? The rental period
The
for,
rental period is 3 months. They'll be delivered December 15th and they'll be returned March 15th.
Hope that's long enough.
Yeah.
That's my only comment. Any other questions? And these are probably necessary to, I mean, I see the trucks you got.
Yes,
Yeah. And you got a lot of dead ends you're working with now, so.
Dead ends, cul-de-sacs.
Yeah.
These trucks will primarily go to the neighborhoods.
That's great.
Yes.
No, that's great. They'll let you shift some of your fleets around. Yeah, that's great.
I was just asking if we've done this before, and I heard your explanation, but I was thinking about some other things. So could you please clarify that one more time?
This is the first time we're looking into doing this. This won't be every year ordeal. It'll be based off the needs, the possibly current financial situation. If it improves, that might allow us to be able to maybe purchase 1 unit. But currently this just will be a year-to-year basis as needed.
I assume we have money for this in our budget.
I believe while we discussed this during the 25 budget process and prepared and planned for it in the 25 budget, and it was approved. So it
Excellent.
is covered.
Excellent. Any other questions of Director Smith? Okay, I'll open up for public comment. Any public comments on this item?
Good morning, Scott Mellon, 200 Kenwood Place. I've got a couple questions. One, I'm sure we've heard all year about our equipment shortages in these departments. I'm sure this is necessary, but I'd be curious to know how many functional vehicles of this class do we have in inventory right now. But another way to think of this is $26,000. The amount of economic activity that would be lost in a storm event by not being able to keep the roads clear and such vastly exceeds the cost to the department. You know, the roads must roll, people must be able to get to the stores. So if you think about it that way, even if it doesn't snow this year, it's a good insurance for us to have. But I would be curious to know the state of the current fleet, how many 550s or similar we have now, and what this would give us. Thank you.
Yeah, Director Smith, I'll let you, if you want to answer, you can. I know we don't have any 550s.
We do not have
yeah.
no 550s currently.
What sizes do we have right now?
We go up,
250s?
we top off the intermediate trucks, I call them.
Yeah.
Dan cul-de-sacs. We have 2 aging 450s.
Yeah.
That's high as we go.
Okay. Excellent. I don't disagree. These are good for just in case. Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Okay, hearing no public comments, I'll close public comments. Any other questions to the board, or can I entertain a motion for this? It sounds like Mr. Smith. It looks like Mr. Smith has done his homework on this, and there's money funded. And I don't disagree. It's good for prep, and hopefully we don't have any snow. So
Motion to approve.
okay. Your second.
Second.
All right, call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Tisdale.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Director Smith. All right, next order of business is a union contract. Contract for 2025 between, I'm so sorry, a contract for 2025 between the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 75 and the City of Michigan City. And I'm going to hand this over to Attorney LePage.
Okay, so the Labor Relations Committee from the council, along with the city team, met with the FOP this year to negotiate the 2025 contract. The Labor Relations team was led by Councilman Bryant Dabney, Don Prespolinski, and Councilwoman Tracy Tillman. They have successfully taken it to the council, and the council has approved the terms of the new contract as well as the FOP. So the key highlights for the new contract would be, one, we had to clean up some language with regards to lateral transfer. When we put the language in for lateral transfers, I don't think anybody foresaw someone leaving the department and returning to the department within the same year. But we wanted to clarify that if somebody does, that they don't get double the benefits, such as vacation days, sick days, if they do. So that contract cleans that language up. It also provides language to give the chiefs the option for the patrol division to either have 8, 10, or 12-hour shifts. The FOP wanted it, and also the chiefs wanted that option. So everybody, I believe, was very happy about that being added to the contract. The third highlight of the contract would be that the members of the FOP would be entitled to the mid-year bonus, as the rest of the city employees would be, of up to $1,200 in July of 2025. And the last would be adding a birthday holiday incentive for the officers so that they would have one extra day, a personal day option during the month of their birthday.
Those seem pretty reasonable asks. Any questions of Attorney LePage? Any questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, I'll open up for public comment. Any public comments on this item? Any public comments? Anything online? Nope. Okay, I'll close public comments. Any other further questions from Attorney LePage about the 4 topics or the 4 changes? Your motion?
I only have one comment. It
What?
seems like a very, very thorough contract.
I'm sure.
Very thorough. I'm no questions about anything.
It sounds like the requests were pretty reasonable requests as well. So.
They were, and the FOP usually is generally really reasonable to work with. So it was a very successful negotiations this year, and the council team worked really hard as well. We did a great job.
I like the idea of flexibility of the shifts. That seems to be almost like an additional bonus to them to make some decisions. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve for this contract?
Motion to approve?
For a second?
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next order of business is a contract, and it's the approval of 8th extension of agreement for Government Access Channel Program, Channel 97, Public Access Channel Programming, Channel 99, and Public Access Studio, ALCO, for 1 year in the amount of $150,000. Andrew, the floor is yours. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Board. I believe that Ms. LePage has arranged for the paperwork to be done. We are just looking for an extension of our current agreement, which we worked very hard over the last 3 years that I have been in charge at Access Port County to maximize the value to the city for all of the things that we do. There is no raise in the amount, and this is just a 1 year contract.
I assume funding is in place for this? Yes, sounds like it is. Thank you for doing all the things you do. I know we call you on a split second and you do show up. I know you might be a little mad at me from time to time, but you do show up. So I appreciate it. No, you're not. You're very good to me. You're very good to us here at the city. So I
have to
appreciate
use
it.
this opportunity to say that I am one of 4 full-time employees that works for Access Port County and
Absolutely.
1 part-time employee, and we work very hard to do what we do. In 2023, there were 350 meetings for Michigan City alone that we recorded, broadcast on cable channel 97, and also posted on YouTube. And our YouTube channel is now up to 3,800 videos with Michigan City meetings, LaPorte County meetings, and Long Beach. Tommy, also our spokesperson over here, and Michiana Shores and Trail Creek. We try and work our hardest for our municipal partners, and we appreciate everything that they are able to provide to us.
And we appreciate you guys doing all that. And plus, you don't know how long the meetings will be, right? So that's the tough part. Any questions of Andrew? Miss White, Mr. White? Any questions?
No, we just appreciate everything you do, sir.
Absolutely. Much appreciated. Andrew, I'm going to open for public comment, see if there's any public comment. Any public comment on this item?
There is. Hello, Scott Melanchon, Kenwood Place. I too voice my support of the outstanding job that ALCO does. And to the point where Andrew's too humble to say it, but I believe they deserve a bump. I think they should see a 10 to 20% increase. They've had no increase if this was a 3-year contract in 3 years. They don't hit us with change orders when we cancel meetings, when we add meetings, things of that nature. And I think it's something to consider. I know money is tight, and I know there were essentially no raises in town, but this is a service, a great service they provide. In fact, their municipal calendar is the only one I can read to see what's happening in Michigan City lately. As our December calendar is completely blank. If you want to look at the municipal calendar, no meetings are listed. In any case, I'd like them to get paid a little bit more. I think what they do deserve it. Thank you.
Any other public comments? I'll close public comments. Any other questions of Mr. White from the board? Or entertain a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Tisto.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you so much for all you do for us. Okay, next order of business is, give me 1 second. All right. The Michigan City Fire Department is requesting the approval to post nominations at each fire station from December 2nd, 2024 through December 16th, 2024 for the election of 2 new members to the Fire Merit Commission to replace Michael Nylab, whose term ended on October 31st, 2024, and Greg Deutscher, whose term is ending on December 31st, 2024. Chief Taylor, the floor is yours.
Good morning. Yeah, as you can see, we're requesting to open up nominations for those two positions and to be able to post them at the stations. Now, I imagine we would do it like we did the last time. We would just leave it open until the next Board of Works meeting, if that's fine with the board.
Is that long enough for you? Or
I would think so.
Okay.
It should be. I mean, if not, we'll just reopen it again.
Gotcha.
Just a couple little bits of information on that. One would be a Democrat and the other one would be a Republican. And to get with the attorney, so we would do that like the last time, correct? They can email or mail it into or hand deliver it to Isabel.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Or they could come here before the board
Right,
closes
okay.
nominations and verbalize
And
it.
then they would have to put on their fire merit nominations 2024 or whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
And specify if it's the R or the D.
Okay. Yeah. So again, just make sure that would be one would be a Democrat and the other one is a Republican. Those are two big
Stipulations
on that. Other than that, I don't have anything else. We just want to open it and be able to post it.
Excellent. Thank you for coming today. Any questions of Chief Taylor? I think he did a great job explaining that. Okay, I'll open up for public comments real quick and then see if we get any public comments. Any public comments on this item? Any public comments? Anything online? All right, I'm going to close public comments. Do I hear motion to approve or any other questions from Chief Taylor?
Motion to approve.
To a second. Support. Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons? Aye. Ms. Antisto?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Next order of business today is a road closure for a special event. Nest Community Shelter is requesting to close Lakeshore Drive from Park Entrance Road to Fetters Drive on Saturday, February 22nd, 2025 from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. for their annual 5K run walk event. Good morning.
Good morning, Board. Eric Williams, and I'm here today as a member of the Board of Directors for Nest Community Shelter. Here with me is Harry Holtkamp. Harry is the Executive Director for Nest. I'm going to hand it over to Harry and kind of let him explain what coldest night of the year is, and I'll kind of hop back in to go over the specifics of the 5K.
Good morning, Mr. Holtkamp. How are you doing?
Good morning. Harrison Holtkamp, 7871 West 400 North. So coldest night of the year is a 5K walk on the coldest night of the year, February 22nd. We are one of 260 organizations that have been selected to host this walk. We are the only one north of Kokomo in Indiana to host this walk. It all starts on February 22nd at 5 p.m. and it lasts for 2 hours. It's a 5K loop. We're hoping to do this through Washington Park, starting at the Senior Center, halfway point at the Senior Center, ending at the Senior Center. So 2 laps, all ending at the Senior Center. We'll have lots of volunteers out there. We'll have vehicles out there to assist in case the weather is too cold for individuals who are walking. But this is a fundraiser in the snow.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
We'll probably, and we will have the coldest one here on the lake, so it could potentially be very cold.
So just some specifics here in terms of our planning portion of it. The first thing we did was meet with Brian Wright, Traffic Commander at Michigan City Police Department. We wanted to make sure that we chose something in Michigan City that is ideally the safest. Obviously, in February, we are unsure of weather conditions. As you guys know, in Michigan City, it can be 40 degrees, it can be 5 degrees, no snow, 36 inches of snow, who knows? We do plan on working with Michigan City Police Department, the EMA and additional volunteers just to make sure that we have everything covered in terms of a safety perspective. In the packet, there was a route that I was given. I found out over the long weekend from coldest night of the year that the way their website works, I cannot submit 2 separate laps. So I will have to tweak the route a little bit, but it's going to be still in the same confines of Washington Park, probably just pushing the starting point back a little bit. We do have we're on the agenda for the park board on Wednesday to get formal approval from them for this event. So anything here today is probably subject to approval of the park board for the event itself. And more specifically on it, it's kind of a conditional request. If there is no snow and the sidewalks are safe, we do plan on just having the walkers stay on the sidewalk. Okay. If there is snow and the sidewalks are not usable, then we would have to have our walkers sneak out a little bit into the roadway, at which point that's when the closure would be needed.
Excellent. When you said there's 2 laps could be submitted, it's really not, you're going to be, the second lap will still essentially be closing the public piece of Lakeshore Drive as well. So yes, that's really the request. So
the whole 95% of it is going to be in the confines of Washington Park. There's just that little dip along Lakeshore Drive there that would be the request.
Makes total sense. Eric, you did great putting this together. It's very easy to understand. Thank you so much for putting it together, make it so easy to understand. Thank you. Appreciate that. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the board? Sounds like a great event. I'll open up for public comments. Any public comments on this item? Did you have a question? Sorry. Good.
I really just want to know who the benefit
Yeah.
fundraisers.
Great question.
The benefit will be Nest Community Shelter, LaPorte County's only emergency shelter.
Excellent. Do you have an idea of attendance? Just curiosity.
We have hopes and dreams.
Absolutely.
We're hoping to get about 50 to 100 people walking.
Okay.
It could be virtual if the weather is really bad, but we're really hoping to get walkers out there to raise awareness and to grow it year after year.
Excellent.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Any public comments on this item? Mr. Johnson, I see you want to make a public comment.
Apologize for bringing this up. The route, the entrance you're closing, that's the main entrance to the park, correct?
Looks like it's going across the main entrance of the park.
Right. So it would be closing the road in front of the Department of Waterworks. We have a shift change at 6 p.m.
Okay.
So that does create a bit of an issue for keeping the road closed during that period of time.
Mr. Wright, how will the road be? I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Mr. Wright, how would the road be closed? Are we talking full closure, lane closure, bollards, barriers can be moved, things of that nature? I don't mean to put you on the spot. Maybe you haven't thought all the way
Do my
through.
best work last minute. What we'll do, I would say between like Krieger Hill and the main entrance to the park is assuming that the sidewalks are covered in snow, that area of the road would be completely closed.
Okay.
I would say then from the monument over to the main entrance, we can monitor the traffic there. So if there is shift change and stuff there, people would still be able to get in and get out. We'll just have, maybe in there we'll just close one lane.
Okay.
And that way the
because we do have the turn.
participants will still be able to go and we'll still be able to allow traffic to flow through there.
It's a little bit wider in that area. Maybe the through lane, the turn lane.
Correct.
Okay. Director Johnson, is that as long as we can get your shifts in there? How many people do you usually shift out?
Just one person in, one person out at that hour.
Okay. Okay. Does that sound reasonable? If they,
Yeah.
and just let them know, maybe whoever that shift is, that hey, it will be closed during this. Potentially could be closed during this time.
We'll communicate that information within, and as long as whoever is out there controlling traffic is aware that we will have that shift change and allows it to happen, that'd be fine.
I'm hoping it's just cold and the sidewalks are open.
That's what I'm hoping too.
So you're okay with us approving this pending that?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Any other public? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Is there any other public comments on this item? Any other public comments? Anything online? All right. I'm going to close public comments. Any other questions of the board on this item? If not, I'll entertain a motion. I'll make a motion to approve this project, subject to change or subject to approval of the Parks Board, and just making sure that you guys we coordinate with Mr. Johnson to make sure we can get his shift worker in there.
Absolutely.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons? Aye. Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you both for doing this, and thanks for doing this for Michigan City. We
Absolutely.
appreciate
Thank you.
it. All right. Our next order of business is the 2025 meeting dates. Approval of Board of Works meeting dates and
missed
time.
one.
Oh, did I miss one? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I did. I checked the wrong one here. Contract. Sorry, our next order of business is a contract, and it is addendum number 1 for agreement between the City of Michigan City and the Collective for the Farm and Foraged Market for 2025 and 2026. And I do believe this is an amount the original contract was $30,000. And the original, and it's increasing to $40,000. I do believe that's the increase.
That is correct.
Okay, so it's a.
The purpose of the increase would be to just give additional support to the farmers for the market.
Okay.
For 2025 and 2026, as you know, we've collaborated with the Collective to help host this. The 2025 season will be the first year that our farmers will be subject to working with the collective. And we wanted to help reduce costs for them to still make the market affordable and successful. So that was the increase, and the additional monies will be coming from ARPA.
Excellent. Thank you for that explanation. Great. Any other questions on this item from the board? Any questions from the board? Okay, hearing none, I'll open up for public comment. Do you have any public comments?
Hi, Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. We don't have a location right now for the farmer's market. I know 8th and Wabash, that's not all going to be used. Mayor Angie already told us back in April there's going to be a major workforce development project going in there. And I know they said they want to be somewhere downtown. I know she was going to have a Pullman Field, but apparently that's fallen through. I'd like to consider maybe having it the 3 acres we have now next door on Carroll Avenue next to the school administration building. I know we acquired that property in 2019. I know that Johnny Stimley, when he was on the council, that he wanted to put a dog park in there, and really nothing's really happened with that property. And I think that'd be a great place to have, the Eastport residents, they've been complaining that they haven't really had a grocery store in their neighborhood ever since K&M closed up. I know when you two, Candace and Jean, you were on the council, you actually voted to the city to acquire that property. Want to say that'd be a great new location for the farmers market. Thank you.
I do know that we've looked at lots of options, but I do believe Mayor has picked out some options.
So it's staying at the location that it's at. I've said that publicly a couple of times. So, and I've met with many of the vendors. We had a meeting here with them and the collective. And so it's going to stay at the existing location right now. The only thing that we may come back for is a closure of the street, that little piece, so that they can use the additional side.
In between 8th, it would
Washington
and Franklin. Mhm.
Right.
Makes sense.
So that they can add and expand there until we figure out what's going to happen at 7th and Franklin.
Correct.
I know that we've submitted some things for the plaza area to the state. So it's staying at that location. One of the things that we are looking at, though, that we've talked to the collective about is some pop-ups at Pullman Field. And we are looking at expanding Walker Street Gardens. So there's a lot of different things that are happening all at the same time, but the location is still the same for the meantime. So there's no change.
Excellent. Thank you for clarification, Mayor. Any other questions or any other public comments? Sorry, any other public comments on this item? Okay, hearing none, I'll close public comments. Anything online? Sorry, I didn't look up online. Nothing online. No, and I know the collective does really well with their organization. I know a lot of vendors that are members of that organization, and they speak very highly of it. Do I hear a motion to approve this contract?
Motion to approve.
For a second?
Support.
Excellent. I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons. Aye. Ms. Tisdale.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you for putting this contract together and getting the collective and working with them on this. Our next order of business now is 2025 meeting dates. This is approval of the Board of Works meeting dates and times for 2025. I believe you all received a list of the dates that have been offered up for approval today. Any questions on those or questions on those dates? To hear if someone flick their switch. Okay. I don't have any questions on them. They look fine to me. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for doing that. Any public comments on the dates? Any public comments? All right, I'll close public comments. Do I hear a motion to approve our next Board of Works meeting dates for 2025?
Motion to approve.
Excellent.
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons? Aye. Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. So we'll get those posted soon, so we know. Next order of business is our payroll claims docket for. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Sorry, motion to approve.
Support. Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons. Aye. Mrs. Tisdale.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. second here. Then moving on, this is our next order of business is our claims docket for December 2nd, 2024. Any questions on those in any of that, or do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you all. Okay, our next order of business, I do see Dave, Mr. Albers out there in the audience. Could you come up and just give us a quick update on how we're doing at the train station on Flaherty and Collins, and any business we need to take care of, road closures, openings, anything we need to deal with?
Yeah, so David Albers, project manager for Flaherty and Collins. We're making good progress. I would say we're moving towards the inside of the building, wrapping up exterior work this week on the garage and train station, moving on the inside to get that knocked out over the next couple months. As far as closures, no, we don't have any requests or anything like that. Franklin's opened back up, and yeah, just there for any questions if there's any.
Did they get the floors poured in the garage?
Topping slab, yeah, that's still underway. Yeah, they're down to the second and third level, and they're having to bring in heaters.
It's getting cold.
Getting cold sooner than expected. So yeah, they're making good progress on that.
Excellent, excellent. Any questions of Mr. Albers? Still think we're on date for February?
Yes.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Excellent. That's excellent. Any questions? Ms. Moore, you got any questions? Any questions? Okay. Dave, thank you for being here as always, and thanks for answering phone calls and things of that nature. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, our next order of business is updates from special events. Mr. Williams is coming down here to give us some updates on our special events and how we're doing. Good morning, Eric. How are you doing?
Good morning again for Eric Williams, Michigan City Special Events. This Saturday, December 7th, from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, we do have our annual Festival of Lights celebration. That will be hosted at Uptown Social at 907 Franklin Street, beginning at 3 o'clock, as I said. At 5 o'clock, we will have our annual parade. The parade this year will be going south down Franklin Street. Again, the street closures stay the same, just going the other direction. During the street closure, we are keeping access open to the public library and trying to accommodate the staging portion to allow parking for local businesses as well. I contacted the law firm on the corner of 4th and Pine, and we'll be working with them to stage a little bit in that parking lot to minimize the amount of staging on 4th Street. We also have at 6:30, the Chili Challenge will begin, as well as visits with Santa Claus. We do request but not require a donation of a new unwrapped toy to Toys for Tots to visit with Santa Claus. And then from there, we're working on finalizing dates for 2025. We should hopefully have an announcement on 2025 dates shortly after the new year. And just wanted to thank the board, Brian Wright, Michigan City Police Department, and the EMA volunteers for all the help this year. We appreciate the support and everything you guys do that allows us to have these events.
We appreciate all of your hard work for putting these on, Mr. Greetham, as well.
Thank you.
Any questions of Mr. Williams? He does an excellent job of explaining, getting everything out there. All right, good. Thank you. All right, our next updates from the park department. I don't see anyone here from the park department right now. I saw Will walking around, but he's probably busy. Okay, so we'll get them next time. We'll get the parks department next time. All right. On to our unfinished business. Our unfinished business right now, we have a street enhancement. Councilman Don Prespolinski is requesting for the Board of Works to contact CSX Railroad for a projected start date to fix the railroad crossing at Woodland Ave. This was tabled from our August 19th, 2024 meeting to be heard today. And I do see our city engineer out there. Would you like to address anything new? I know you've been trying to get a hold of them. Thank you.
Tim Warner, city engineer. I have been unsuccessful getting a response back from CSX Railroad after they indicated this early this summer that they would get all this improvement of Woodland Avenue done by the time the asphalt plant's closed. Well, that's passed. I have contacted the senator's, U.S. Senator's office asking for assistance. I gave them a description of what was told to me about all the railroad crossings that they repaired all the crossings in town recently this year, the 8 of them out of the 9 that were not done yet, and the previous 4 that were done in the last 10 years or so, including Tilden. And I'm waiting for a response back. I'm sure because of the holidays and that, there were a lot of staff members missing and that at the senator's office. So hopefully I can hear something back and I'll report to the board of what, if any, response I get back from our senators, U.S. senators' offices.
It's excellent. Any questions of?
As I stated before in the last meeting, it's very unfortunate that we're in this situation. How much time have passed since we've been back and forth? It's just embarrassing. Have you and the police department decided to give us an assessment of that in regards to, whether or not we should continue letting the public travel across that? And second, is the street department able to plow that? No.
Mr. Smith, you're putting me on the spot. It's okay.
All railroads, we're prohibited from plowing on the railroad. The railroad has so many feet per right of way. I believe it's 4 foot in each direction. So we can't perform any maintenance.
So y'all pull up when you
Yeah,
go over
right.
them? That's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and as for discussions with police, Corporal Wright and I will talk about it, take a look and see. But at this point, I've traveled over. It's bad, but it's not bad enough to close, I don't think. And Brian and I will talk about it and see what happens. I mean, I know the winter weather is going to be hard on the crossing, and we'll keep our eye on it. But right now, my recommendation is to leave the crossing open. But Brian and I will talk about it and see if it gets in worse shape.
It's unfortunate because it's a pretty highly traveled
Very busy
street, and it's a major north-south. Yeah, absolutely.
Crossing.
It's a
other Franklin Street. Yeah.
Yeah, say safety issue, safety from a safety standpoint as well, getting to our neighborhoods, etc. Any other questions of Engineer Warner? Any other questions? Okay, I don't have any questions either. Thank you, Tim, for being here. Should we keep it on the agenda until next Board of Works, or do you have a? I think we keep it on there, maybe first Board of Works in January. Because we're going into the holiday season. I don't know that we're going to get much done between now and December or the Christmas season. But Mr. Simmons, I'm looking at you. What's your
I feel a good idea to keep it on the agenda, being that, are we having issues from this month to the next month?
Absolutely. I don't want to lose it, but so would you like it to be on the next meeting? Okay. Would you make a motion to that effect?
Make a motion, we keep it on the agenda until December.
Or here at the next
December
meeting.
for the next meeting. Yeah.
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Tisdale?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. We'll keep it on there to just hold it on until we get some further clarifications. Our next order of business is I'll open it up for public comments. Any public comments at this time? Any public comments? Any public comments?
Yeah, good morning, Board. Don Perbolinski, 215 Gardena Street, City Councilman. First thing I'd like to do is getting back to the Elko contract and Drew White And I didn't come up here at that time, Drew, but I did come up here now. And I just want to thank you and Alco and all the fine work that you do for all the meetings in Michigan City. I know you guys do a fantastic job for the council meeting, you know, keeping me on time and letting me know when the meeting starts and all that kind of stuff. But no, I do sincerely appreciate it. And the fact of the matter is, I know it's $150,000 and I don't know how that's negotiated or how it's come up with that total. But I do believe that maybe in next year's budget, if there's money there, that this outfit gets more money than 150,000. I know they're dedicated employees. Kevin Harmon, I've known Kevin since high school, and he's one of the hardest working guys there. And there's a few other gentlemen, but I can't remember their names, but I've seen them at meetings and they do a fantastic job. So I do believe that they deserve a raise for next year, just like all other city employees do. And I would like to see that happen. Number two, and I don't know if the Board of Works has anything to do with this, but I know, Skylar, that you, along with Shem Khalil, redid the downtown Franklin Street two-way conversion. It's very nice, very well done. But there is one question that I have, and that's after all, I think it's after all the work was done and all the new sidewalks were put in, that it looks like utility markings were made right on top of the brand new concrete, brand new sidewalks. There's blue paint, there's yellow paint, there's green paint on all these sidewalks and curbs, and not all of them, but they're down there. And to me, to do all this almost $1 million worth of work, and then you have paint on these sidewalks, it doesn't look very professional. Is there any way that the Board of Works can take it under their jurisdiction, or however we got to do it, to have that paint sandblasted off of those sidewalks so that the downtown area looks presentable? And yeah, I don't know why you would put brand new sidewalks in, brand new curbs, brand new streets, and then bring in utility markings to go down there and mark everything up. But just something that I appreciate the Board of Works can look into, if that's their jurisdiction, and report back at the next meeting on what we're going to do to get rid of those utility paintings.
Engineer Warner, would you like to address this?
Okay, if you want to address it.
Indiana 811 is a federal requirement to locate utilities for anyone that calls that's going to do any underground digging. I don't know what these particular 811 tickets were for this locate after we were done with the work on Franklin, but anyone who's going to do any underground work anywhere near their property has to call Indiana 811 here in Indiana, and then they mark those. It's illegal for anyone to remove those marks until the work is done. Do we see that removal happen? No, a lot of times no, but I'll ask our water department, sanitary district staff, if they got a call for a locate in this particular location, and see when that work is scheduled on the 811 ticket, and if we can get those taken care of. But if they're still there in the spring, Don, we'll take care of it. Okay.
Great, fine. Yeah, fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, it just kind of behooves me that, you know, brand new concrete would be put in, and then 811 or whoever it is comes in and does their markings. Just a comment. And getting back to the train station, and I know the gentleman was here from Flannery and the company that's the head contractor, but I did have a question for him. He's left now, because it was brought to our attention at the last council meeting by Nick Pollock, who's the union representative for the carpenters local here in Northwest Indiana. And he had told the city council that on that particular project that more carpenters were needed, but they're bringing 8 carpenters up from Kansas City that are non-union carpenters
to work on this project when there's 8 union carpenters that are, I guess, on the list that could be hired to do this work right now. I guess it goes back all the way back to the point of, and I would like to see these 8, and I know the Board of Works doesn't have anything to do with that, but I just want to let people know, since this gentleman was here this morning, that, you know, what's going on there, that when they came in front of the city council a year and a half ago before this project started, and they promised this, and they promised this, and we asked them for this, and we asked them for that. They couldn't do this, and they couldn't do that, and it would be, you know, very hard and slow everything down. That if you make a promise to a city, and you're gonna come in here, and you're gonna do the work, and you're promising, yeah, we're gonna use union workers, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that.
They never made
Then-
that promise,
then
Don.
Then they need to do.
If this isn't the board to address this,
Okay, but I'm
but
just,
they actually never made that promise,
I'm just bringing that up.
just so you know.
Okay, but
That was never said.
my point is, okay, they have union workers sitting on
Okay.
the side.
We're not the board to really address this, but
Okay, but I just wanted to bring it to the attention of the
going to
board
address it.
and the attention of the city. Thank you.
No, I'll address it. I did meet with Mr. Nick Pollock, and I did meet with Mr. Dave Albers. So they have union and non-union working the project. I did ask about this particular piece of the contract, so I asked for a better understanding. So there were multiple bids for the exterior walls of the project. And I did ask Mr. Albers to look more into that as well. Is, you know, even if I don't care wherever they're from, can they hire some of the local folks? He has been meeting with Mr. Pollock on an ongoing basis. I know they're working on the interior walls now to find out, you know, figure out how the carpenters can participate in that. But throughout the project, there have been union and non-union workers throughout this entire project, not just non-union. So I have a list of all the union contractors who have worked on the project and who are continuing to work on the project. This particular piece was the exterior walls of the project and the cost. And again, I won't get into the details of that, but Albers and Pollock have been talking on an ongoing basis and trying to negotiate. One thing I will say about unions, local unions, and there's a project that we're working on in the future, a lot of the unions contribute financially and support the project to ensure that their people are on the project. They have hefty and really nice pensions that they really they use to invest in projects. So I would like to see that as well. I would like to see them invest in Michigan City on the project as well. And that would be an opportunity as well to get people on the project. So I think there are ways that we can intercede and kind of be the convener. So I've met with both of them individually already in the last 2 weeks. So we're working through that now.
I would also add that our WBE, MBE, DBE is very high. It's at 12% for this project, which is very high.
And so that's another piece of it. So we did have some requirements for DBE and all of that, and that doesn't necessarily mean union. But we beat that threshold. So we are required to meet that threshold, and some of those DBE, women-owned, minority-owned businesses may not be union shops as well. So we have a lot of requirements that we have to meet, and we're doing that. I just want the public to know that there have been union shops working the projects. We had a Buy American clause on the train, on the actual parking garage train station portion of it as well. So just for further clarification, those talks are continuing as we present those different bids for different portions of the project. So those are negotiations that continue to happen.
Thank you, Mayor, for that clarification. Any other public comments?
Yes, Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. Really don't want to bring this up, but you know, I'm really saddened and really disgusted to see what happened Friday at Marquette High School on the campus there, what they did. I hope whoever's going to get that, we need to find out who did that and make them pay. I also want to express my gratitude to the county. They have a really good, a compost site out there on Ziegler Road. They got a real, I know the gentleman or the runs that was the superintendent's name is Vince Sherman. You know, he used to, they used to have a site at the Westville prison, but they closed it now. But he does that out there, that you can bring all your brush there. They don't charge you nothing. They got one pile you can bring all your brush and one pile for your leaves. And they work real hard out there. They got a real nice building out there to keep all their equipment stored. But you know, they got a lot of volume of compost that brings out. Especially now they won't let the residents use our site on Hitchcock Street anymore. But just want to thank you and happy holidays.
Any other public comments? Anything online? See one guest online. No. Okay, I'll close public comment section. Any board comments?
Just getting back to the markings on the sidewalk. I take it that they're all done now, right?
Yes. Yeah, the downtown two-way project is complete right now. Yes.
Because cosmetics is everything. It plays an important part after all of that we went to make that look great. Then you got to have markings on the sidewalk. I would say that's unacceptable. We need to.
Yeah, but the point is that anyone can call in 811. It may not be. It's probably not our project that's doing it. It's the law.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not our project that did it. It could be like 907 Franklin's putting in a new sewer. They got to go mark all of the things, regardless if it's new or not.
Yeah, and we
Continue.
cannot, as a former NIPSCO employee and over that department, one of the departments that engages in that it's a legal it's a requirement that anyone, it could be someone doing sewer, water work for their own individual building. They could be doing a project in an alley, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be the city, but we are not supposedly legally remove those markings. So
flags too.
yeah, because let's say, for instance, and I hate the fact that it's happened at this time frame because I don't see them doing any work. So we'll investigate who's doing the work. But the problem is, if those markings are removed and something happens, then damages would be incurred. Then you got to deal with insurance and all these different things. So we as a city cannot legally remove them, because if something, heaven forbid, happens on a project that is occurring there and they're digging and they hit something, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's why 811 is a national thing.
Yeah.
So it's effective.
And there's a lot going on downtown other than our two-way project. There's a lot of buildings that are being looked at now. There's new water mains going in at the train station. There's just a lot of activity of businesses being renovated right now.
So we'll follow up, and if there's something we can do, we can get, maybe an idea of what the projects are and see when they're going to complete them, then we can maybe discuss that with whoever the project is, the owner is. Yeah. Oh yeah, that too. It is marking paint. So not necessarily permanent.
Yeah, it'll wear off over time.
It's supposed to.
Yeah, it will wear
over time.
What that time frame is can be. Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as it snows, probably a lot of it will go away with the ice and the snow and just salt and things of that nature, cleaning.
Duly noted.
Yeah. At least I hope, because I noticed it too. Any other board comments?
Yes, outside of the markings, I really like the two-way street. It has turned out awesome, and I love coming south on it right now, and I see the other side of the buildings that I've never seen before, and you see those paintings, and it's just awesome. I really, kudos to everybody in that project.
It really is a good project. It's still a little frightening to go south, I would agree, but I've been driving it a lot just at different times in the day. And I want to give thanks to Mr. Warner, to Engineer Warner. He was very diligent and caught some things in the fly and in the field and made some field adjustments and made it turn out even better than it was even planned. So thank you very much, our Engineer Warner. We really appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just got a couple things. Firstly, I just want to point out again that the cost of the annexation from where we thought it was to where it actually is needs to seriously be noted. And the mayor should be, really applauded for her efforts in reducing that. Because 7.5 to 3.1 is like a huge difference. And I know the scope changed. I know
The original was 6 million and then it went to 7. So even now it's below.
I think that's a huge save for the city. That means we're only going to spend about $600,000 of rainy day money, so we don't, where we plan to spend 2.5 million. So I think that that's excellent. I think that the ALCO contract is very important and Drew and them are absolutely valuable. But I also think we also spend a lot of money with our IT department that do some of the same things. So there are some considerations to be made on how the city can save money, maybe with Drew and with our department as well. So having next year and the budget year coming forward to be able to look at those things, I think deserves great consideration. As far as the crossings go, it just seems like the entire year this thing just got kicked down the road, and I would hope that the effort is more intense going into the new year to try to get this done, especially for that crossing. Other than that, I think that's it.
Mr. Tisdale, the floor is yours. You're the only one who hasn't had a comment. Okay. Any other board comments for greater good? Anything? Okay. Yeah, just like the downtown. Looking forward to the Festival of Lights coming up, which is next weekend or this coming weekend, Saturday. So with that, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you so much, everyone.